race of extraterrestrial would like to come here, they would have to have the permission of the Elohim, and the Elohim would never allow those people to do experiences on us, to hurt us and to take us away from our family and stuff like this. They will never allow that.
Well, that's assuming that you're assuming that they are more advanced and more powerful than the other aliens.
You know, coming to that, if humanity is capable of traveling out of their solar system, they're automatically peaceful. They're not violent, they're not aggressive, because if they are violent, before they're capable to go out of their solar system, they destroy themselves. Like our humanity here, we have a lot of science and we're almost capable to go out of our solar system, but not quite yet. And it's going to be decided if we don't become more wise and if we don't have enough love between each other, we will destroy ourselves. This humanity won't exist anymore before we are able to go to another planet and disturb other humanity. It's like a cosmic law. It's to protect the entirety of the universe. And if we're not good enough and peaceful enough, that's it for us. And that's why we have like Rael's messages to help us to grow in wisdom, in balance with our science knowledge. And that's what all the prophets came here for, to try to put some sense in this humanity with love and wisdom. So we don't have to be scared of somebody who comes from another planet. They're automatically full of harmony and, you know, love, because they passed through the same stage on their planet that we're going now. They did that. They had wars on their planet, but now they reached the level of the golden age, like we hope. And that's what we're working for. We want this humanity to reach that and live like they live, like on a paradise on their planet.
Yeah, see, I too always, before I started becoming aware of abduction phenomena, and I do believe in abduction phenomena. I've had many guests on, and I've talked to people that have actually had these experiences that I know to be not crazy and normal, and so that's just my own, coming from my own belief system. But before I became aware of abduction phenomena, I always had a very, very idealized view. I wasn't into the Raelian movement, but just my own conception of extraterrestrials and everything I had studied and read and spoken to people about. I had a very idealized view of extraterrestrials, and I logically, in my own mind, I said to myself, any race of beings from another planet or wherever that could have been around long enough to have gotten through all the earthly lessons that we as humans have to go through, and have still survived and are that much more technologically advanced, must be also more spiritually advanced and more elevated. And I always had this view until I started reading about and hearing about abduction experiences. And that was where a monkey wrench was thrown into my whole system. So now I've sort of taken a neutral posture, but that's just my own belief, and I want to talk about yours. If I'm not mistaken, sensual meditation, this is something which was brought up at the, well, maybe I should backtrack a little bit. Where does sensual meditation fit in with the Raelian way of life and belief system? And maybe we could talk a little bit about that.
Well, as I discussed earlier, since our creators know how we work, the sensual meditation is a way that we can connect ourselves to everything that we are a part of. For instance, if you want to put it in a more visual concept, a human being is like a plug, and the universe is like the outlet. And if you can learn how to plug yourself into that outlet, you can feel everything that you are a part of, because when the Elohim created us, they created us from the inert matter that was here already, and they designed us. So we are just a small part of the atoms and the molecules and the particles, and everything that composes us is in the universe. And when we connect ourselves to that, we can feel totally what Buddha may have called eternal bliss, that feeling of happiness, that pleasure beyond pleasure. And the sensual meditation helps to develop us every day in our life, to raise our consciousness so that we can be self-fulfilled as a human being.
So it's not a classic form of meditation that's a purely ethereal, it's a more physical form of meditation.
Meditation is, in the beginning, for somebody who has never meditated before, there is there's a few steps that you can take. You lie down, you have to really learn how to breathe, because what you're doing is you're bringing oxygen into your body and opening up your cells like they haven't been before. So you're feeding your cells oxygen. And you're learning. It's a learning process, like anything. If you want to become a great artist, you have to paint every day, or the pictures aren't going to come out very well. So it's steps that you take, and one day you can reach a point where every minute of your day is a meditation. You walk in meditation daily. It doesn't have to be something that you have to do. It's something that you really want to do to connect yourself.
Okay. Sounds very interesting. Just from reading the literature that I was given at the conference that you had, I'd like to quote one of your own things here. It says, "One of the aims of the Raelian movement is to bring about a world of leisure, love, and fulfillment where we have rid ourselves of the repressive and moralistic social inhibitions which paralyze our joy of life, so that everyone has the courage to act and be what they wish without harming others. But what is such a paradise going to happen by itself? No, we need to make it happen." Now, what I see here on this page is a kind of what looks to me, pardon me for saying it, but kind of a Woodstock type gathering of a lot of young, semi-clad people. This is this yearly camp that you have up in the Montreal area. Looks like a lot of fun, actually, but could you tell us what this is about, the
Yes.
annual camp that you have?
Yeah, we have it in Canada and Quebec for North America. We have it in France, Japan, Africa, Australia. It's on the 5 continents. For 2 weeks, we gather together, and Raels gives us teaching about how we work to become more happy in life, to know more about how our brains work so we can make it work better. And of course, there is people from all over the world who comes. Last year about 600 people came from everywhere. And even if we don't know some people, few Raelians who come, it's like if we know each other for so long, we have so much, a lot in common, and then we have the same goal, is to welcome the Elohim. And this creates an atmosphere of like a paradise for 2 weeks. And we learn how to meditate, and Raels is there, and what he gives us is so much love, and is so humble, and you have to meet him to know that what he's teaching is really love. That's what all the other prophets did in the past, and it's just more accurate scientifically, because what he teaches is the same thing.
Would you say that, again, referring back to the picture and just the general vibrations I got, if you want to call it that, at the seminar, do the Elohim, according to your belief, do the Elohim want us to, do the Raelians have a generally, what society would generally consider to be a pretty liberal attitude about sexuality?
Yes, but like Donna mentioned earlier, the respect. We cannot have freedom. The real freedom always comes with respect. So it's very important for the Raelians to respect each other, to respect yourself. So it's freedom to be what you want to be.
I'm not being moralistic, mind
yes,
you. I'm just
there
asking.
is couples in the Raelian movement that stay together, and that's the way they want it. There is other people who have more friends, heterosexual, homosexual, transsexual, all kind, as long as it's amongst adults and consenting adults.
Consensual. I
Yes.
take it you push for safe sex. I got that
Oh, yes.
impression from
A long
the
time
film
ago.
that you showed.
Even before that, AIDS was a subject on the news, Rael was teaching us to use condom 20 years ago. So in the Raelian movement, if you compare with the rest of the society, the rate of AIDS is a lot lower than the rest of the people, because we've been knowing that a long time before it was even talked about. So it's something very, very important for us.
Yeah, I know that in the film that was shown, they talked about how the Raelians had given out 35,000 condoms in the school system in Montreal,
Yes,
because
yes.
the school system had not allowed for condoms to be given out in school.
Yes.
This was at the high school
Yes,
level, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that must have caused quite a stir in the media up in your area.
Yes, of course.
You are
and
from
it's
Montreal,
good.
right? Yeah.
Yes, it's very
Yeah.
good because people has to awake.
Yeah.
They're sleeping. They're
Yeah.
like sleeping people, and it's nowadays young people start to have sex at 13, 14, without the grown-ups know. They don't know about it, but this is reality, and we
Yeah.
have to help them to protect themselves, to respect themselves, and that's to protect yourself with
Right,
condoms.
right. Very interesting. Unfortunately, I think I'm running out of time, so I as always, I always feel like I could go on and on, but unfortunately I can't. So I would like to thank both of you very much for being here and sharing what you have about the Rallium movement. I know that the phone number will, if it hasn't already, will be appearing on the screen. If anybody's interested in learning more about the Rallium movement, they can contact
Yes.
either of you or anybody in general
We
at
have
that
meeting.
number.
We have meeting every month, so it's the one who wants to come to
Right.
meet us. We have a meditation every
Monthly
month.
meetings on
Yes.
Miami Beach, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, as we come to the close of the show, I'd just like to say that all of you who have written in or called in requesting that Betty come back on the show and continue talking about her abduction experiences with the extraterrestrials, will be glad to know that Betty will be back on my next show or the one after that. So stay tuned, and I'll see all of you next week. I'm Lou Rosano for the Miami UFO Network and for MUFON, the Mutual UFO Network. And remember, we are not alone.